only 12. Uh-oh. Hey guys, so I told you that I was going to put this up, and I'm finally doing it. I'm doing the best and worst books of 2012. I am, right now, this is the best books of 2012, and I decided to do 12. I was going to do all of them, but then that would have been like 26 books, and that would have been way too long, and that would have been just not good. So I lowered it down to 12, and I have it in descending order from 12 to 1. 1 being the best book of 2012 for me, and 12 being the 12th best book of 2012 for me. And it was really, really, really hard for me to order them because I don't do that in my mind. Like, I'll be like, ooh, that's a 5 book, or ooh, that's a 4 book, but I don't go, that one was better than that one, definitely, or anything like that. So that was kind of hard for me, but I thought I would do it for you guys because, yeah. So I'm going to try and do that. Let me know if you have read any of these books, and let me know if you liked them or you didn't like them as much, because I'd really like to know what you guys thought. And I will link the written reviews that I wrote to them from my blog in the descriptions, and I think we'll get started. Book number 12 is Nothing by Jan Teller. Jan Teller, I'm not sure. But it was such a good book. If you read the description of it, it sounds really, really weird. And it's hard for me to summarize this book, so I'm just going to read what's inside the dust cover because it's a pretty good description. Pierre Anthon decides that there's no meaning to life, leaves the classroom, and jumps in a plum tree, and stays there. His friends and classmates cannot get him to come down, not even by pelting him with rocks. So to prove to him that there is meaning to life, they set out to build a heap of meaning in an abandoned sawmill. But it soon becomes obvious that each person cannot give up what is most meaningful. So they begin to decide for one another what the others must give up. The pile is started with a lifetime collection of Dungeons and Dragons books, a fishing rod, a pair of green sandals, a pet hamster, but then as each demand becomes more extreme, things start taking very morbid twists, and the kids become ever more desperate to get Pierre Anthon down. And what if after all these sacrifices, the pile is not meaningful enough? So I really, really enjoyed this book. I read it in about a day. Well, I started it on one day, and then I finished it on another day, but it was like about a day if you counted up the hours. And it's really, really short. It's only about 225 pages, and there's not that much writing on each page, so it's not like it's a huge, huge read, but I really, really enjoyed it. After I read the synopsis to people, they ask me, why did you like that so much? And I can't really give them an explanation. It's weird. It's really, really weird book. It was originally published, it's a Danish book, so it was translated to the English language. That's the word I was looking for. And it is really, really, really good. I just can't explain. You'll have to, I think I talked about it better in my review, so maybe you might want to go look at that. But it was a really, really good book, and I loved it. You should go check it out. Book number 11 is My Name is Memory by Anne Brashares. Yeah. Anne, last name. And she's the same person who wrote Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I have not read that, but I really enjoyed this book. I got into this book because we were having a book of choice thing for my English class sophomore year, and one of my classmates read this one, and all the girls were like on the edge of their seats, and we didn't know what it was about. Like, we wanted to know who wrote it and what happened, so I immediately picked this up afterwards, and I loved it. It's so good. It is an adult novel, which I'm really surprised that I loved it, because I don't read adult novels unless people won't shut up about them. So I read this one and I really enjoyed it. It is about a boy named Daniel who has the gift of memory. So he remembers all of his past lives, and he's lived since way, way back then. And every life since the first one he can remember, there's been a girl in it, and he remembers her as Sophia. And so he remembers Sophia, and every life he sees her, as a different person. Like one life he's her mom, and then the next life he's his sister or something, but every life he remembers her and he's in love with her because of that first life. And then it jumps from old stories back then to present stories now when he's meeting the current Sophia, whose name is Lucy, and it's just amazing. I don't know if I just confused you guys with that synopsis that I just thought of. I'm not very good at that. Yeah, but you need to check this book out because it's so very good. And it kind of left us on a cliffhanger, and I was kind of mad about that because I don't think she's going to write another book because it wasn't that popular. So I think you guys should check this out and let me know what you think about it because I thought it was amazing. This was a good one. Delirium by Lauren Oliver. And this one's more popular than the other two that I just talked about. It is about, I forgot her first name, Lena. Lena lives in a kind of futuristic Portland where love is a disease. And at the age of 18, everyone gets the cure. And they get the cure for love, and like their life is pretty much planned out for them from that spot. And Lena is really excited to get it because she doesn't want to fall in love because other people in her life had gotten to bad things because of love and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's 18, maybe 18 days, I think it's like a few weeks before she's about to get her cure, she falls in love. And oh my goodness, guys, I really enjoyed this book. I can't even fathom. Like, at first, it's kind of slow in the beginning, and I was kind of surprised by that, but it was just, it was a gorgeous book. And the sequel, Pandemonium, was also very good. I love that one. This is just a good series in all, and it's really good. Book number 9 is Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. And I love this book. It was one of the books that made me realize that I was in love with wolves and werewolves and all that kind of stuff. It is about a girl named Grace who, when she was little, she was kind of pulled away by wolves a little bit, but then a yellow-eyed wolf saved her. And then she, over the years, now she's 16, and she kind of looks every winter for the yellow-eyed wolf and has kind of become her friend. And then one day, guess what? A yellow-eyed boy pops up on her front step, and guess what? It is her boy. It's her wolf, and it's amazing. I love this series. The first book is Shiver, second book is Linger, and third book is Forever. I just enjoyed this series so very much, and I think you guys should check it out. It's really good, and it's the perfect number 9. Number 8 is also a wolfish book. It is the third book in the Nightshade series, Bloodrose by Andrea Cremer. Cremer. I think it might be Cremer. I'm not 100% sure. But this series is so good. After I read this book, I knew that I was hooked on wolves in general. That the Shiver series kind of brought me into thinking that I loved it, but after this book, I just knew. And I'm not going to tell you what this one specifically is about because it was the third book, but I'm just going to say that it kind of relieved everything that I was freaking about in the first 2 books. And this series is about Kala. I'm not sure if it's Kala or Kayla. I called her both in my head, so I'm not sure. But it's about Kayla girl, who is the leader of her pack in her werewolf type thing, and she is betrothed to this boy named Ren, and then another boy named Shay comes into her life, and it's just amazing. So there's adventure, there's a love triangle, there's conflict. It's just amazing. I cried, I laughed, I screamed. It was great. Book number 7 is Insurgent by Veronica Roth. I enjoy this series so much. You have no idea how freaked out I am for the last book, but I just love this series. This book ended on a huge cliffhanger, and it's freaking me out, and I'm not exactly sure when the third book is coming out, but I know that it's coming out in 2013 sometime, and I'm so very excited because I have no idea where this is going to go. I'm not going to tell you what the second book is about because it is the second book, but this series is one that you just need to check out because it's amazing. The new characters and everything in this book is just great. I love Roth's writing style, and I cannot wait for the next book. Great book. check it out. Number 6 is C by Heidi R. Kling. This is not a very well-known book. I don't see very many people reviewing it or talking about it, and I think it really deserves more. I don't know. I just think that it doesn't have that much hype around it, so maybe I'll start something, because this is a great book. I absolutely positively loved it. I didn't think that it would be as great as it was, but it was amazing. And this book is about a 15-year-old girl named Sienna, and she's kind of having a hard time because her mom had died in a plane crash flying over Indonesia for help with other things, because her mom and her dad are part of a rescue type thing, and so she's always kind of been afraid of water and flying and stuff. But she's really surprised when, for her birthday, her dad offers her to take her to Indonesia to go help at an orphanage, and she kind of has to go because that's super cool. And at the orphanage, she meets a boy named she meets a boy named Denny. That was from the other book. See, I confused myself. But she meets a boy named Denny, and he's kind of like beautiful, amazing. It's great, and they go on an adventure together, and I was so surprised by this ending. It's not even funny. I didn't see anything coming. I just loved it. I think like when you read the synopsis, it's not really one that you think would be this amazing, but it was really, really great, and I would recommend it to anyone. Awesome book. The next book, which is book number 4, is Hallowed by Cynthia Hand. I cannot express how much I love this series, guys. Honestly, this is like one of my absolute positively favorite series ever, and I think it's pretty cool because the author, Cynthia Hand, is from my state, and I think it's pretty cool because not very many authors come from my state, so I think it's amazing, and she's such an inspiration to me, and Unearthly series is amazing. I'm not going to tell you what Hallowed is about because it's the second book in the series, but I will tell you kind of what the series is about. It's about a girl named, what is her name? Clara, and she is half angel, and she has to move to a new place because her mom is an angel, and it's just, she goes on adventures and she meets boys, and it's like a love triangle, and I cannot wait for the 3rd book to come out. It comes out on the 26th of January, I think. No, the 22nd of January. I'm really excited because on the 26th, I'm going to a book signing. This is one of the many books that I have. Not many. Why did I say many? I only have like 5. But this is one of the books that I got signed. And it says, "To Gabby, best of luck with your own writing, Cynthia Hand." And I think it's really amazing. And she's such an inspiration to me because I want to be an author when I grow up, not get up. Grow up. And I think it's really, really amazing series. Divergent by Veronica Roth. I absolutely positively love this series. Like I said with Insurgent, it was such a great story, and I'm not going to do a synopsis of this one because I think most people know what this is about, and if not, you can go check it out on Goodreads or in my blog post review in the description. It was just great. I loved the whole idea of it. I loved I loved Tris. Just everything in this book was great, and I think you should check it out if you haven't yet. Book number 3, I don't have a physical copy of yet, but book number 3 is Perfect Chemistry by Simone Elkeles. And that book, you guys, I read it about at the beginning of this school year, I think, so in like September, early September, late August-ish, and I did not know what I was getting myself into. I just picked it randomly. I heard people talking about it, and I was just, okay, I'll read it. And oh, it was such a great book. It was about a girl named Brittany and a boy named Alex. And Alex is Hispanic, and he's in a gang, and Brittany is kind of like the stereotypical Barbie kind of girl on the outside, but then on the inside she actually has more to her, and it's just kind of like how they come together, and at first they don't like each other, and then after a while they do, and it was just a great story. I laughed so hard. It's a hilarious book, you guys, and I was crying, and it was just amazing. Like, I think a lot of people won't read it because they think it's kind of stereotypical, and And if you kind of see it that way, it can be, but I just really enjoyed it because it kind of put a different spin on that kind of stereotypical thing. So I really enjoyed it, and I cannot wait to read the second book in this. Book number 2 is Please Ignore Vera Dietz by A.S. Kling. This was one of my favorite books this year because I really think that it was different than most other books. I just picked this out on a whim because I kind of just liked the cover, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of John Green's cover Looking for Alaska for some reason, and I just thought it was cool. And I haven't read Looking for Alaska yet though, but I thought it was kind of cool, so I was like, I'll give it a try. And it was so different. I've never read a book like this before. A.S. Kling's writing style is so different. I would check it out because I think you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it, and I loved it. So I'm going to read you what's on the cover, the dust jacket, because it's really hard to summarize this book. So it says, Vera spent her whole life secretly in love with her best friend Charlie Kahn, and over the years she's kept a lot of his secrets, even after he betrayed her, even after he ruined everything. So when Charlie dies in dark circumstances, Vera knows a lot more than anyone. The kids at school, his family, even the police. But will she emerge to clear his name? Does she even want to? And that's kind of vague, and I'm sure I did a better review of that in my review of it in the descriptions on my blog. And if not, if you guys really want to know what this is about, either read it or let me know if you want me to do a video review on any of these, because I can. And this one is just really great. It was such a different writing style. Like, I think A.S. Kling has this sort of whimsical writing style where, like, it's kind of hard to tell what's real and what's not, and I love that. It's amazing. You guys should just check this out. Okay, you guys, so I was deliberating over the first book. I wasn't sure if I should flip 2 and 1 or 1 and 2, and I was really freaking out about it, and then I kind of came to what book I wanted. And I think a lot of people, you probably, I'm sure you can guess what it is, because a lot of booktubers and just reviewers in general have been doing this book as their number 1, and I was thinking that maybe I don't want to be like everyone else, but I'm not gonna lie, this was my favorite book this year. It was really up there. I kind of debated about it, but after a while, I just had to give it to it, and it is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. You guys, this is an amazing book. I was crying my eyes out. Like some people say that they didn't cry, and me, I cry at everything. If you haven't realized that, I cry when I'm happy, I cry when I'm sad, I cry, and books just make me cry like a baby. This book, I was bawling my eyes out. I couldn't handle it. It was so sad. It was just great. This book is about 16-year-old Hazel, and she has cancer, and it's just about her, and she meets another person who has cancer, and his name is Augustus, and it's just kind of like their story, and it's really great. I loved it. It was just, thinking about it just making me cry, so I'm gonna stop talking about it, and I just think you guys should pick this up if you haven't, because it's great. Okay, you guys, that was my best books of 2012. Well, it's more like the best books I've read of 2012, not all of them came out in 2012. I hope that wasn't a problem. Yeah, so I'm going to be filming worst books of 2012, and I hope you guys enjoy that. I'll try and put it up either today or tomorrow, because this is probably gonna take a while to put up, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry if it was kind of rantish, and I'm sorry that I am bad at giving synopsises, but I'm gonna work on that. And thank you for watching the whole thing if you stayed through it, because I'm sure this is gonna be a whopping long video. But thank you, and I hope you have a booktastic day. Bye, guys.